A woman is critically injured and her vehicle left in pieces after a crash along a stretch of road notorious for its dangers. Good evening and welcome to News 2 at 6. I'm Bob Mueller.
And I'm Haley Wilgus. The Wilson County Sheriff's Office says in the past year, they've responded to 11 wrecks along Saundersville Road and 13 incidents of speeding and reckless driving. News 2's Kendall Ashman talks to the victim's husband, who says he hasn't heard his wife's voice since the accident.
Just yesterday, this section of Saundersville Road at Bay Drive was the scene of an accident.
The second phone call I got was from a first responder, and I can hear my wife in the background. And I just heard her go, "Help me, help me. I don't know what happened."
Tony Slay says that's the last time he heard his wife, Stephanie's, voice.
And there was probably anywhere from 10 to 15 people at any time working on that car. They had these big heavy machinery trying to cut it, trying to get her out.
He says it took around an hour and a half until first responders could get her out of her car.
Never had a more helpless feeling in my life. Sitting in the backseat of a car, watching them trying to get her out. So,
Tony says once his wife was out, she was life flighted to Vanderbilt, where she is now recovering with a long list of injuries, including fractured pelvis, femur, and fractured arms. And you can see in this picture, the two cars hitting each other head on.
those roads they're dangerous.
Tony says he has lived in this area for over 20 years, and this road has always been a concern from year to date. The Wilson County Sheriff's Office says there's been 11 accidents along this road, 3 of which involved injuries. And they say they've responded to 13 calls for speeding and reckless driving. Slay says recently he has seen a more active police presence on the road.
It's a dangerous place. There's not a lot of easement, and a lot of people, after a while, you get kind of complacent, and it's just, you got to be real careful. We had a guy probably about a year ago get in a wreck, and he didn't make it right at the end of my street.
And as he FaceTimes News 2 in the back seat on the way to the hospital, he hopes tonight he can hear his wife's voice.
I'm going to hear some good news today. I've heard enough bad over the last, between yesterday and today. I want to hear something positive, so I'm sitting there, hopefully I can talk to her.
In Wilson County, Kendall Ashman, News 2.
A GoFundMe has been created to help with Jennifer's medical condition and her costs. The link can be found on our website at WKRN.com.